Welcome back. Auma Obama grew up in Kenya, and it wasn't until she was an adult that she met her younger brother, a fellow by the name of Barack. You know Barack Obama's story, and now his sister is telling her own, and she is in Austin tonight working with Turk Pipkin's Noblesse Project to raise money for a water well in her native Kenya. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
A tremendous opportunity to speak to you about what's in the book and a story that obviously all Americans and really everybody around the world is fascinated with. We want to touch on the charity work and the social work that both of you are doing, but let's talk first briefly, because it's in the book, the notion that you met your brother Barack and told him about his father that he hadn't met.
Yes, I did. I find it was a great opportunity for me, because obviously he'd heard from his mother about his father, but he had never actually met any members of the family apart from my father. And when we met, that was one of the things that was really important at the forefront of our meeting, was that, tell me about my father. So we spent basically the whole 10 days I was there just talking and talking and talking.
And I guess the question that a lot of people are asking is, what did that information do to influence Barack to becoming the man that he is now, and of course, President of the United States?
What I can answer to that is really, from my perspective, is I just hope it influenced him positively, and gave him a bit more, of a sense of identity to enable him to reach great heights, and really he did. I can't, he did quite a lot, and has been extraordinary in that.
That's fascinating. Let's talk a bit about the Noblesse Project, Turk, and how do you know Auma?
Well, we were working in Kenya. I went to Kenya the first time with Wangari Maathai, a Nobel Peace Laureate, to plant trees, and we eventually started building schools over there. And Auma and I ended up on the board of a 50 by 15 foundation, which was based in Austin. And we met, and I began to go to Alego, the Obama family homeland, with Auma to document her Saudi Coup Foundation. Saudi Coup means powerful voices. She works with young people. And she started coming to Mahiga Hope High School, and we were building the school. She's in our movie, Building Hope. And we just have had this, growing relationship, and I think we've learned a lot from each other, which is great.
No doubt. And tell me, Auma, about the Youth Center Project. This is why, in part, you're in Austin tonight to raise money for that, that Youth Center Project.
Yes. The reason we're actually putting a youth safe space, is what we call it, in places, because like the name of the foundation, Saudi Coup, it's about giving young people a voice to be able to first realize themselves that they have an identity, and also with that identity to realize that they're important, and they also have to take responsibility for what happens in their lives. And part of doing that is using your voice and talking and expressing yourself and negotiating positions and being part of the decision-making process of things that happen in your life. And this space that we're trying to create is going to be able to do that for them, because up until now, the young people, and this is a rural project in the rural area, they would meet at the school, and the first few times I met them, they were in uniform, which in itself is already so restrictive. And these young people are not used to being really listened to, their opinions being counting for anything, because we do have a very, in our culture, more kind of this, children are to be seen and not to be heard kind of mentality, because the adults know best. And what we're trying to do is tell them, no, you must have a voice, because you also can be part of what becomes of your life, and you can determine that. And that's what we're hoping this space will enable them to do. And they're very excited because they helped design it. We're working on it. Architecture for Humanity in San Francisco helped us. They designed the school for the space for us, and the young people participated. So it's a project, a process that they have been taking part in from the beginning.
And I imagine it's part of your hope that this kind of space expands through Kenya, and perhaps we can have spokespeople from that group, come to America.
Yes, in fact, we're talking about that right now, because it's a pilot. The whole idea about the work I'm doing is I work with children and young people, but it's not about working just with Kenyan children and young people. It's global. And for me, really, the issues that children and young people have in Kenya, the challenges, some of them, you have them in America, you have them in Austin. So it's about young people just realizing we're young people with issues and that are bespoke to our areas, but depending on how we behave as young people, we can make a difference to our lives. And that's the core of what we're trying to do, and that's where the connect
enable every kid to, not to say, what can you do to help me, but, for these kids to see, you're the one that's going to help you, and these are the tools that'll help you do it.
And they've got their own voice, and once they learn how to use it.
We just create opportunity, we create the space, and we open the door, but they have to go through the door by themselves.
And this, I understand, is a fascinating read, and, it's been translated, and is it still very much much in your voice, do you find?
Very much so,
Yeah.
because the translator, Ross Benjamin, he had hard work with me because I speak English.
Yeah.
So we were constantly in touch. So we struggled and we negotiated a few words because, again, I speak British English. So
Yeah.
But
that was-
it's interesting, though, but it's not written in Kiswahili, as you would think, with Auma in Kenya. And Auma is a doctor, is Dr. Obama, and the book is actually written in German.
yeah, the original, yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of languages going on with this lady.
It's
But
fascinating.
it works in English. It's definitely my voice, and I'm really grateful for Ross for, you know, allowing me that space to be able to get into the space of his work and say, no, this is not how I would say it. I'm saying it like this, and let's negotiate that. So
Fascinating. Here, there's a book signing tonight I want to tell people
Yes.
about. It runs from 6:30 to 8:30 at the McGarrett Jesse building. It's a beautiful old building down on West 6th Street, one of Austin's landmarks. Tickets are $25. The money will go to build, again, that water well at the youth center in Kenya. You can find more information right after the interview here at nobelity.org. I'll spell that out. It's like Nobel, like the Nobel Peace Prize, NOBELITY.org. Auma Obama and Turk Pipkin, so great to have you both with us.
thank you
Great.
for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.
Appreciate the opportunity. Great luck with the book tour, and again, pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks.
so
See
much.
everybody tonight.
All right,
Yeah.
see you tonight.